listening to Banter with the Boys, talking all things sports. From betting and brawls, Super Bowl to Stanley Cup Finals. Get laced up. It's time for Banter with the Boys.
Welcome back, everybody, to Banter with the Boys, NFL Week 9. I'm your host, Smeltzy, this week, as Tyler is enjoying himself over in the Sin City, Vegas. I guess we'll see if he comes back with a bunch of money so we can get us a studio. Today, I got Ben joining me as a celebrity guest, we'll call him.
Oh, wow. I feel so important.
So important. Good. As you should. So Ben's here this week to talk some NFL. And as always, we got Kevin here keeping the lights on for us. So that's great. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you listen to the banter. And let's just get into it here. So game one of the week 9, we had the Rams in Green Bay. And Ben is actually a Green Bay fan.
This is correct.
So what did you think of the game on Sunday?
I saw a lot of good things, finally. It's been kind of a rough start, and I expected this out of a young team. I mean, we got young quarterback, young receivers. We don't really have a true number one. I mean, can you call Christian Watson a number one? No.
Whoa, you don't think so?
No. He doesn't fight for the ball hard enough.
Okay.
Like, he's not getting enough separation. He's not showing that true speed he's got. Like, if I'm hearing this dude is fast, why is he not getting more yards? Why is he not getting more catches? Because he's not getting separation. So now he's having more of these fights for the ball, and he's not winning them. And it's killing drives, but that also kind of leads me into Matt LaFleur's play calling. Why are so many of these long balls to Watson happening on 3rd and long? Get the first down. Keep the drive moving. Then maybe hit that.
Right.
You're giving up too many drives on your side of the field trying to hit these long bombs. Just get the first down and keep the ball.
Well, and that's just it. You got to set up the pass, right? And,
yeah.
And then you finally saw it this week with Aaron Jones getting 20 carries.
Yeah.
Finally, that rushing game has shown up. And obviously Aaron Jones has been down for a little bit, but now finally, maybe the first week he's not on that kind of quote unquote pitch count. So now he can finally do Aaron Jones shit.
Yeah, essentially, because if you look even at past seasons, if he's had less than, I think it was 12 carries in a game, Green Bay was a losing record by a very wide margin, and then over 12 carries a game, they were substantially different in a positive manner. So it's like, why, if you know what the trend is, why are you going against it? I understand sometimes game dynamics works that way, but if you know what is working for you, why are you moving away from it? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
But I think now with having Love at quarterback rather than Rodgers, you're seeing maybe some of this play calling exposed because, Rodgers could come up to a line and probably call any play in the playbook and make it work.
It's extremely interesting that you bring that up because Tyler was just talking about that last episode. So it's interesting to hear almost the same thing from two Packer fans talking about how the play calling is really the issue here. Before you can really, it sounds like from both of you, before you can really judge Jordan Love, you need to get a new play caller in there.
I think maybe not necessarily a new play caller, but you need to figure out what has worked for you already with Love at quarterback to be able to get him in a rhythm, get him comfortable to maybe then open the playbook up and try some more stuff. But I think until you get him comfortable in a game, which, I mean, you're in week 9 now, you should be damn comfortable in a game.
Right.
Or at least have it somewhat figured out that you can wing it. Not necessarily wing it, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's crazy to think about now because then you rely on the defense too much. You're giving up these drives. You're giving up all these yards. And now you're having your defense go out on short time, gassed, and you're like, hey, we need you to stop them coming 50 yards down the field because we couldn't do anything, rather than scoring a touchdown, making it maybe be a touchback, and having them have to go the whole field while giving you guys a break while we take them down the field.
Yeah, just wearing down the defense.
which A.J. Dillon,
Oh yeah.
why are you not running north-south?
Yep, he's a north-south back, just kind of like Alexander Madison should be in Minnesota. You up and down, bro. That's
Like,
all. You're a
you
bowling ball.
are-
You're a bowling ball.
Massive.
Yeah.
And why are you going down like a fucking teddy bear?
Yep. I mean, it's been a theme all year for AJ Dillon, and that's why I think it could be a game changer getting Aaron Jones back. However, you guys, obviously meaning the Packers, still sitting at 3-5. It's not looking hot with Detroit playing as well as they are in the division.
Oh, Detroit has been.
Yeah, so
Dan
we'll
Campbell,
definitely.
Dan Campbell for Detroit is something else for them.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to Detroit.
That's a culture thing for them.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, complete 180. So, so all in all, a decent game for Jordan Love. I mean, 20 for 26, 228 yards, a TD. Not a bad day, but you see the help he gets from Aaron Jones carrying the ball 20 times. And yeah, he got 73 yards out of it and scored a tutty, but just being able to get a constant run game with A.J. Dillon, defenses were probably like, they already knew where it was going and what was going to happen.
Right.
Now getting Aaron Jones back, he's a little more shifty.
And he can catch the ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's been a game changer because Love, I feel like he's held onto the ball too much, but then there's been times where he goes through his progressions too quickly and is trying to move, make something happen because maybe he doesn't have that check down back that can catch the ball, make a guy miss, get 10, 15 yards. All right, hey, now we just set up, we're going to run it this way. We got to play action now downfield. You can make something happen because, hey, you might have just checked it a yard, but he got you another 12.
Right.
Rather than you trying to do it yourself.
100%. So, all in all, good win for the Packers, 20-3. I guess final thoughts on the Pack. I mean, there's not much to say about the Rams. Quarterback play was abysmal. We will talk about something that actually just happened this morning with the Rams at the quarterback position. But other than that, I mean, play was abysmal. Cooper Kupp targeted 7 times, only caught 2 balls, guaranteed half those were uncatchable. Not much to say. What's the final word on the Packers for the wrap on Week 9?
I think it's a good step in the right direction. Moving forward, get a little more confidence. I'd like to see the offense pick it up a little more. Having that missed field goal early in the game too is, I think, critical. That kept the score too close, giving the Rams a chance. And granted, the defense stepped up big time, which has been a sight to see.
Sure.
Because the first couple of games, it's been, Jair is supposed to be the guy, and where you at, bro?
Where you at? Where he at, though?
Where he at, though? Like, why are you talking the talk but not walking the walk?
There you have it, Jair. You heard it there. So that's pretty much a wrap on Packers-Rams. Tyler and I both picked the Packers to win, so both got that one right, 1-0, coming out of Game 1, so looking pretty nice. Next game, Vikings in Atlanta. All sorts of storylines there. Holy cow. Let me start off by saying Tyler and I both picked the Falcons to win this game, and we were both wrong. The Vikings ended up pulling that game out in a wild fashion. Before I go into it as a Vikings fan, what were your outside views of that game? Like, non-biased, obviously, opinion.
I was like, am I watching a Pee Wee game right now? Because it was just so back and forth, but it was entertaining.
And
I
sloppy.
Can't lie. Sloppy, yeah. I was taking mental notes during this game, and I was like, there is some poor tackling on both sides of the field, poor pursuit angles, just all sorts of. I mean, what was it, a 60 or 50-yard touchdown? Just, I think it was like a bubble screen, and dude was just gone. I think it was Jonnu Smith.
Oh, yeah, for the Falcons?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Jonnu Smith, I was like, that defense
Complete
got
blunder.
sucked in so hard.
Complete blunder, yeah.
And then it was just, every guy just had to make sure they held their block just long enough. And once he got through that first wave, which was only, 3-4 yards off the line of scrimmage, gone.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, that was ridiculous. And I think they took the lead right there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but momentum back and forth the whole game just because of the
I don't feel like
sloppiness,
anyone
too.
had momentum.
No, that game literally came down to the wire. Either team could have won that game. And fortunately, the right one won the game, being the Vikes. But, so anyway.
Controversial take.
Yeah. So Jaron Hall, the rookie, started the game. Actually was looking pretty solid.
I thought he looked really good.
Yeah, he was actually looking pretty solid. And then tried to make it happen with his legs, which we see a lot of younger quarterbacks doing now.
I loved it.
And
I loved it. He was aggressive.
He went for the tutty. Ended up.
I think he would have been fine. Yeah, he would have been fine on the first guy. It was the second one that just came in while he was already wrapped up. And then he just couldn't do anything about it.
And then he smacked his head on the ground like that. Yeah, that's it.
That's tough.
That's it. So now you got Dobbs coming in, who was just traded for. 5 days prior to that, didn't take any practice reps at all, had no snaps with the center. I mean, those are all the little things that you have to have in the NFL. And if you didn't even have the little things, the chances were slim to none. And you saw that immediately.
Yep.
Giving up the safety, following drive, makes a great play, and then fumbles the ball.
Yeah.
So
just getting rid of the ball. It seemed like he initially wanted to try to do too much to try to make a point, or maybe not necessarily a point, but try to prove himself. Like, oh, man, I got to step in now and be that guy. And then you just try to do too much. But I think he finally, as the game progressed, he got comfortable and was able to be like, all right, I do have the help around me. I don't have to be the guy making every play, but I do have the ability to use my legs, get out of the pocket. And we saw it late in the third, I believe it was. He got out of a sack and still ended up getting like 12 or 14 yards when I initially saw the play, and I thought, oh, this is a loss of 7.
Dude, yeah. I think that was either a 3rd and long or that could have been a 4th and long. I feel like I remember that play.
I think it was like 3rd and 10 with like a minute to go.
Yeah, he spins out of it. Like,
yeah.
If you're Atlanta, you have to finish that tackle. That was abysmal. You can't have it. So, yeah, I mean, Dobbs came in, got it done, 20 for 30, 158 yards, 2 tutties. Also 7 carries for 66 yards and a touchdown.
That just shows like how dynamic that offense can be if he's gonna be the guy and he gets the reps with everyone. And then once you guys get JJ back, as a Packers fan, that's concerning.
Yeah, dude, because
that's concerning, especially if you guys on defense can figure it out. Because that for the last couple of years has always seemed to be the issue.
It was
young corners,
it was.
Young secondary, a lot of mistakes, just giving up too many yards, poor form tackling.
And Brian Flores coming in was huge. I mean, complete culture as
we
another
talked about it
change.
in the offseason.
Yeah.
How big that of a change that was going to be from it was Donatelli before.
Donatelli. I almost said Donatello. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that sounds right.
So, I can't remember his name.
Not good anyway. It wasn't good. Like
no, it was abysmal.
I think they gave up. What was it last year? That's my word, by the way. Damn it. I think he gave up. Oh, dude. I think they were 5 games in a row giving up like 500 yards offense or something last year.
It was atrocious.
Something crazy. Like it just wasn't good. So yeah, obviously he lost his job. But so all in all, Vikings decent game. I mean, they ended up getting the win, 31-28. You saw T.J. Hawkinson and Jordan Addison really stepping up for
They made some good
the
plays.
missing J.J. piece.
They made some good plays, fighting for extra yards. T.J. there was a big play he broke out of. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 guys were on him, and still ended up getting another 10 yards.
Yeah. No, well, and T.J.'s just a hard guy to bring down. So it
big.
just goes to show you, no matter who you are, whether you're big or not, you keep moving your feet.
And how important tackling and form tackling is.
Facts.
Instead of trying to make the hit and knock the guy out.
100%. So
you can shake off a hit all day long.
Right. So there is, and then on Atlanta's side of the ball, Tyler Heineke actually didn't play that bad of a game.
No.
I'm not surprised. They already came out and said they're going to start him this next week. I'm not surprised by that. I think he earned that opportunity. And I think he'll progress, get better as the season progresses, honestly.
I agree.
He's really not that bad of a quarterback, so I guess we'll see on that one. There was one massive disappointment for me for Atlanta this week.
Bijan,
yeah.
He's so electric, but
what's going on?
You just didn't see it.
What's going on there? Like
what was it last week? It was migraines, and he got 2 snaps?
Yeah, you haven't really seen it all season. Like
he had all the hype.
He had all the hype.
All the hype. He's the guy. He's the running back that's going to be the one taken in the first round. That doesn't happen anymore, and in the top 10 nonetheless. What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know. So another thing to keep an eye on as the
It's the same
season
thing
progresses.
they have with Pitts. Like, what are they doing?
Well, Pitts ended up coming up with a couple big freaking catches late as
But he's
they were
had,
coming
what?
back.
3 touchdowns in his career?
Oh yeah, he's not living up to that big hype either. I mean,
But it seems like they just don't target him in the red zone. Like, why? He's so big.
yeah, he should be your number one red zone target, and he's just not. So, yeah, Vikes get the win in a thriller in Atlanta. And actually, Tyler and I both got that. Oh yeah, we got it wrong anyway because we picked Falcons, but we also didn't cover the 4.5. So wouldn't have mattered anyway. So moving on to the next game, we had the Dolphins at the Chiefs in Germany on Sunday morning here in the U.S. That was also the Banter with the Boys game of the week. Tyler picked the Dolphins, and I went with the Chiefs. I got the win there, as the Chiefs got the dub as a team collectively, 21-14. Crazy game. And real quick, shout out to Germany. I mean, they really turned out for this game. The energy in the stadium seemed insane. You've
seen it a lot with these foreign games.
Yeah, the NFL is really making a good, I don't know what I'm trying to say, a good effort
to outreach
to
and
expand the game into other countries. So, and you're really seeing the fandom. I mean, not just Chiefs and Dolphins jerseys in the stands. There's probably a jersey of all the teams in the stands that day. So,
and it's all sports for them over there. They're very passionate.
Oh yeah, super passionate.
Just a quick throwback to the Ryder Cup. Like, you saw them at the first tee, just a bunch of noise. Trying to rattle everybody.
So
like,
Germany,
they're passionate.
So yeah, another big heavyweight battle, to be honest. Dolphins versus Chiefs. Chiefs were looking to run away with it right away in the first half of the game. I mean, when they were up 14-0, Dolphins kind of making a drive, and then Trent McDuffie actually jumps the route hard on this little, I don't know if you want to call it a little bubble route, whatever. Jumps it hard, smacks him, ball fumbles, he fumbles the ball. And then it's picked up by Mike Edwards, actually, who then laterals it back to Brian Cook, and then Cook just takes it yard. So now, which is just a crazy, non-selfish play, by the way.
Just a wild sequence to see.
And a wild sequence in general, yeah. So now...
Almost like a little hook and ladder.
Yeah, so now Chiefs are up 21-0 at half. Coming out of the half, Dolphins end up having a big third quarter drive, actually, kind of just chipping away at that defense. And then he finally throws it up for Wilson Jr. for a TD, finally on the board, 21-7. Chiefs literally fumble the next drive, and they give the Dolphins a short field, and the Dolphins do nothing with it, actually, and then end up on a 3rd and long, don't convert, end up getting kind of a weird personal foul call, which actually ends up giving the Dolphins another first down, and then they pop it in from there, and then that was all the scoring. We'd see the rest of the game as the Chiefs run away with it 21-14. I mean, there's definitely a couple takeaways there. I mean, both quarterbacks played pretty well. I'd say Tua played well enough to win, but not against Patrick Mahomes, I guess.
Facts.
If that makes sense.
Facts.
So I don't know. This kind of had a feel of maybe an AFC Championship preview.
I could see it. I want to give a huge shout out though, quick, to the Dolphins defense, just not giving in, pitching the shutout in the second half.
Yeah,
they're just keeping their team in it.
Kept them in it.
Like, the offense has to do something to reward that defense. They kept them in that game. And the problem I see with Miami, I see 8 catches for Hill, 3 or less for everyone else.
Right.
When you start targeting the same guy too much, you're going to run into problems.
Well, and then yeah, if you look at the targets, Tyreek 10, Jalen Waddle next at 6, Jeff Wilson at 4, and it kind of just goes down from there. I mean, guys got to come down with the ball, too, at the end of the day. You saw drops kind of on both sides of the ball that game, which was kind of uncharacteristic of both teams.
But then, I mean, just look at the Chiefs then on the other side. Targets to catches, 3 and 3. 3 targets, 2 catches on the other one, 2 and 2, 3 and 2. I mean, they're getting targets and they're getting the catches.
Right. Yeah, now that I look at it, I guess it is just kind of a couple players there for the Chiefs. Justin Watson maybe had a couple drops in there, but other than that, I guess it was more the Dolphins. I could have sworn both teams were dropping the ball, but you just, again, those are little things you can't be doing, especially if your end goal is a Super Bowl.
Correct. But I think
Um,
Miami is in the right direction. Mike McDaniel, what a change!
I like Mike McDaniel.
I
Man,
love him.
he's a goofy.
The
a
energy he
goofball.
brings is just so wild.
I wanted to say giant goofball, but that's not the case. He's smaller than me, but like, yeah, the energy.
He's a player's guy,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You can tell he's playing.
and that's a huge thing for these guys. It seems like
yeah.
just having that coach that is able to connect with them and isn't just going to drill them. So you're able to have a guy that can let loose, understand that, hey, we're still playing a game here.
Right, no doubt. So, not to change it up on you really quick, but just looking at the Dolphins as a whole, right? The Chiefs, we know they've been pretty dominant all year.
You know what you're going to get with the Chiefs.
Yeah. The Dolphins, not so much. So
No, they can be a wild card any week.
But here's the problem, right? Looking at their schedule that they've played to this point, all of their L's have came to most likely playoff teams: Bills, Eagles, Chiefs. And the Bills and Eagles games were not close.
No.
Straight up not close. This was the closest one. So
You got to find a way to beat those teams.
yeah, you have to
If
find
you
a
know
way
they're
to beat
going to
them
be
'cause-
consistent playoff contenders, you got to find a way to beat them.
and you could say them, only losing to the Chiefs by 7. Okay, they're getting there.
They're getting there.
They've made that difference smaller, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, they're all their L's so far coming to playoffs teams. I mean, that's kind of sus.
It is a red flag.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a red flag. Too many red flags for the Dolphins right now. But ultimately, Chiefs get the win, 21-14. Dolphins fall to 6-3. Chiefs now improve to 7-2. Moving on from that, we have Dallas going to Philly in a big divisional matchup. And later into that game, that one could have gone either way, to be honest with you. Either way. And I think the Eagles still seem sus to me. Like,
They just don't seem as dominant as last year.
as they should be. Like, as we feel like they should be. Because I honestly feel like they could have.
And for what they have and what they've been able to add,
Right.
like, why are you not dominating every week?
Right. Right. So before we even get even further into that, just real quick, Tyler chose the Cowboys. I did as well. We both got the L there, of course. We thought Dallas would go in there and beat them in their own house, but they did not. So, yeah, not looking too good on the predictions for Tyler and I this past week. But
Quick shout out to
May-
Dak Prescott. Finally didn't throw an interception.
Well, and here's the thing about Dak, right? Eagles get the win, by the way, 28-23. Dak's really not that bad. His ability to get outside the pocket and extend the play is actually better than most people think. And the accuracy he has when he gets outside the pocket. Like last year, I saw more, and Dallas as a whole felt more dominant last season, to be honest. But what he's able to do this year looks different. Like he's not sending up as many prayers, I feel like, this season. Like he's more
Like,
dialed. He's more
not
accurate
hoping the
this
guy's
year.
going to come down with it. He's either going to come down with it or nobody's going to come down with it.
He's just pinpointing. I don't know. A lot of his throws for TDs this year have been
They seem
just
more
on the money.
decisive.
On the money. So Dak ends up throwing for 374, 3 TDs. I mean, normal Dak numbers. We're used to seeing that at this point in his career.
CeeDee Lamb have a game.
CeeDee Lamb had a game, and almost won the game. I believe he's the one that caught that final ball. Yeah, right at the end of the game there. He was just a couple yards short, and I think technically he ends up fumbling it or whatever and then end a game. But just a couple yards short of the end zone. Otherwise, Dallas dang near walked off with that. The thing is it should have never got to that. Dallas lost that game because of just missed opportunities, straight up.
Sure.
They had
because seeing these offensive numbers, how did you not score more points?
No, for
And
sure.
It's like, what are
They-
you...
No, they straight up just missed opportunities. I don't know. So looking at the Eagles side of it, I kept a couple numbers here. Their tush push, they were 3 for 3 on fourth
Not
down.
surprised.
3 for 3, 2 first downs on fourth down, and then a touchdown.
Yeah, not surprised.
You know, they're going to keep using it. You know it's coming.
You know it's coming, and you still can't stop it.
No. So, I don't know.
But it's like, if this play is legal for everyone, why are the Eagles so successful with it and everyone else is not?
And that's the crazy part, right? Because you've seen other people try it at this point, because obviously everybody's seeing how successful it is.
Sure.
And it's not quite working to that same success rate as it is for Philly.
Right. It's like, how? I don't understand what the difference is, what they're doing. If it's whether the cadence of the snap count or how they're, lining everyone up in order to maybe catch them off guard and not snap it right away or whatever they're going to do. It's crazy to see the difference.
They've just straight up perfected it. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. Another good game from A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. The one Devontae Smith touchdown I keep seeing in my head, just a crazy good throw by Jalen Hurts, by the way, but also just a crazy good catch, toe taps it in there. Nobody else is going to catch the ball other than Devontae Smith. What are you going to do about it?
He's always been so fun to watch. Throwback to Alabama.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Roll Tide. Yeah.
Hey, you said it, not me.
I know. Oh, my God, I did say it. So, yeah, anyway, Eagles, both teams also came out of the gate going for it on fourth down in both their opening drives, and they both, were successful with that. So that's another trend I think you keep seeing in the NFL as of late, is teams going for it on fourth down and being more successful with it. And I think that was just a showcase of it right there.
Sure.
Both scored on their opening drives. So another little tidbit here. Last week's Bonehead move of the week, I talked about Kenneth Gainwell being on his phone at halftime. He came out and got a touchdown this week. So I'm going to go ahead and take credit for putting confidence into him. Yeah.
Gainwell didn't get a touchdown this week.
Yes, he did. Kenneth Gainwell. Rushing touchdown.
Oh, rushing. I'm sorry.
Touchdown.
Excuse me. I was looking at receiving.
Yeah. Rushing touchdown. Based on, my awesome, confidence boost. So, anyway, one last little thing that I'll touch on later in tent talk, but James Bradbury did go down in the last 40 seconds of the game on kind of a weird play. So keep an eye on that. And then, other than that, Philly improves to 8-1, continues to run the NFC. But I don't think they're as dominant as their record says. I think it's something definitely to keep an eye on in the coming weeks here, for sure. And then Game 5 of our Week 9 wrap here. Bills traveling to Cincinnati. Tyler took the Bills. I was taking the Bengals. Obviously, I got the dub, 24-18, which actually gives Tyler a record of 1-4 for the week. So I hope he listens to this on his plane ride back from Vegas, and he really thinks long and hard about his predictions this week, because they were not good. Anyway, he's going to kick my ass for that.
Straight savage.
He's going to kick my ass for that. I went 3-2, no big deal. Not great either, though. So just goes to show you how unpredictable any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday, unless you're Arizona. Any given Sunday.
Unless you're...
So, anyway.
Arizona catching strays out here.
Anyway, Bills at Bengals. Bengals 24-18, take the dub. Bills looking sus again. Josh Allen, honestly, looking a little sus again.
He's comfortable forcing the ball, which is nice, but he's got to pick his spots because he's throwing too many interceptions.
You know who he's starting to look like? Think about it real quick. Big arm quarterback, as many touchdowns as he is picks sometimes.
Sounds like a polished Jameis Winston.
Polished Jameis Winston. So I don't know, dude. Like, he's trending in the wrong direction right now.
Correct.
Is it this year he's on the cover for Madden? Or was it last year? Maybe we're seeing a little bit of a Madden curse. It might be this year. I can't remember. I haven't played enough now this year.
Yeah, me neither.
Garbage anyway. But anyway,
what else is new?
He's still making it happen on the ground though. That's something
that's never been a question.
Right. That's something that won't go away. I kind of compare his ground running. Everybody's gonna laugh at me, but like Carson Wentz was actually really good on the ground. Yeah, yes. Wait.
I mean,
wait,
yes.
wait. But he would just go and try to deck somebody and then injure himself. Like
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Josh Allen kind of does the same thing. He just doesn't get injured because I think
tough.
he's a little bit bigger human being too, if I'm not mistaken. But he's tougher.
He's tough.
He's straight up tougher than him. But like, as far as like, oh, I gotta go. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's still got that for sure. Like you said, never been a question. I think Stephon Diggs is still one of the most elite route runners in the league.
Oh, no question. He made some great catches. There was a sideline catch, Josh Allen right over a linebacker underneath a safety, toe tap by Diggs, just money throw.
Normal Diggs stuff.
Money throw.
Yeah, good throw. Yeah, I mean,
Money throw, great catch.
I don't know.
It's like, what else are you gonna do?
Bill's got to take a long, hard look in the mirror here.
James Cook, like 6 carries, 20 yards. What are you doing?
16 carries as a team.
Yeah, that's
Kind of low. It's not going to cut it.
no.
Straight up, it's not going to cut it.
Dalton Kincaid though seems to be a nice
He seems
target
to be
for.
a baller. Yeah,
He's become a nice target for Josh.
He's
Allen.
kind of like the term I keep using the last few weeks is like safety blanket. He's kind of becoming
Yeah,
Josh Allen's
the
like
nice
safety
little check
blanket.
down.
Like, your nice little check down or your
shit I
first
gave
down
for
conversion.
Kirk Cousins a lot.
Right.
The check down.
Hey man, everybody wants to hate, but
But it works.
I ain't got shit to say. But
It
yeah,
works.
right. So
Look at Tom Brady. He never really threw it downfield all that often. Quick slant over
how
the
many
middle, and the
times
rest
is
of
he-
the guys fucking ran it
exactly.
down the
How
field.
many times is he just hucking it right to Wes Welker? But anyway, bring it back in. Bills Bengals. Let's talk about the other team, the Bengals.
Dude, T. Higgins.
A team that's been finally getting it together the last few weeks, and we kind of see it again. And instead of Jamar Chase this week, it is T. Higgins going off.
It's been a couple games this season. Like, T. Higgins, I feel like, is becoming the guy because so many are shadowing over Jamar. Like, and you're seeing Higgins finally step up and be like, all right, shit, if I have to be the guy, I got to be the guy.
Yeah,
And making these plays now.
for sure. It looks like a touchdown too for newly acquired Irv Smith this season as well. Former Viking shout out, but I'd still say he's still underperforming for probably what they're looking for. He should be a target, and he's just
He
not.
should be.
You know, he's just not yet. So I don't
And
know.
I
what's
feel
going
like
on
for
there.
how big he's been, he should be a better blocker too. But there's
Right.
just been so many missed blocks or just not being able to hold him long enough.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing this game for Cincinnati that was kind of a negative would have been their run game, missed blocks, like you were just saying. You know, you kind of saw it all game. So, I don't know. It's good to see their passing game coming around, but it's like it's one or the other for them.
Joe Burrow's starting to look a little more like Joe Burrow.
Like Joe Burrow. Oh my gosh, yeah, 100%.
There was a scramble he had earlier in the game, and I was already previously in the game. I was like, man, Joe Burrow's still kind of looking maybe a little rough on that calf. And then I wanted to say it was either late in the second or early in the third. He took off, and I was like, oh, I
He's
could be
cool.
wrong. He might
He's
be
cool.
good.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, and I mean, just look at Burrow's stat line there. 31 for 44, 348, 2 tutties. 31 for 44.
That's what
They're-
we're used to seeing.
They're trying to slang that thing now.
They're slinging it.
Yeah.
He's comfortable now.
Yeah, they're trying to slang that thing now. So, I mean, that about wraps it, honestly, for Bengals Bills. It wasn't super exciting. It was a good, solid AFC matchup. Good
It's kind of
battle.
what you expect out of those kind of teams.
100%. Two most likely playoff teams. Bills actually maybe questionable at this point. They got to really get their shit together. And Bengals, I'd say, are
Seems like they're having a really bad issue on the road. 1-3 record on the road for the Bills.
Yeah. Just not good.
No, not good at all.
Not good. So got to figure it out. Got to get it going. But I guess we'll, as always, there's always something to look at for next week. So let's head into some tent talk. Yeah, and just to start it off here, we got some Vikings news. I mean, Vikes had 3 players go down. Cam Akers, newer acquisition, torn Achilles, done for the season. Just as things were getting going. So that just really
That seems to be how it goes for the Vikings.
this season for sure. Rookie Jaron Hall, first start of his NFL career. Concussion on his second drive of his NFL career. He's done at least for this week, could be longer. KJ Osborne also got knocked out in the middle of the field, also ruled out with a concussion. He is questionable for this week as well. Another possible concussion, we thought we heard Christian Watson with a concussion. That's kind of what they were talking about on TV. What did you hear?
So I've heard no concussion on Christian Watson. So that's a good sign that things are trending in the right direction for him. I know he's been dealing with other stuff throughout the year, so as long as no concussion, we should expect to see him next week.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing for Green Bay to keep going.
Yeah, they need him to be back for sure. So something to keep an eye on. I believe he is good to go, cleared to play, but we'll see come Sunday. Another injury this week, Jamar Chase back. His lower back, something going on there. He actually is straight up day to day and leaning more towards not being able to go this week.
That's going to be a huge pressure on Higgins now.
I mean,
if that's the case.
And you have Higgins, you have Boyd, but Jamar Chase obviously is going to draw probably the best DB on the field.
100%.
So you're going to open up those other guys.
100%.
So Joe Mixon's going to have a much better game this week than he did last week to kind of help make up for no Jamar Chase, if that's the case.
Yeah, you can't expect to win on 14 carries, 37 yards too often.
For sure. So, couple excuse me, jeez Louise, couple of Eagle injuries here. I did mention James Bradbury in the wrap up there. Tweaked his knee. He is expected to play this week, so he should be good to go. Another guy that's needed back in that secondary. And then kind of a big deal here for the Eagles, losing Dallas Goedert. He ended up fracturing his forearm, ended up getting an MRI the next day, which did confirm fractured forearm, needs surgery, going to the IR. That means he is missing a minimum of 4 weeks.
That's tough.
I mean, what does that do for their offense? He just started finally getting going. And I know this because he's on my fantasy team. He's been pissing me the hell off. And then he just started figuring it out, which has been awesome. And now I feel like my forearm's fractured.
I feel the same way about Darren Waller. So my fantasy team's been stretched thin at tight end.
Fair. So, I think that's a big loss for the Eagles offense. We'll see how they can kind of combat that going forward. I have no idea who their backup tight end is. Probably something I could have looked up before this, but I don't know. I don't know who he is. He's going to have to step it up. Next man up mentality.
Next man up.
Another kind of, unfortunate injury, bigger injury, Daniel Jones. I believe he just came back from injury this week and now goes down with a torn ACL, done for the season in an atrocious New York Giants season. I don't really know what the Giants should be doing right now.
I don't even know that they know what they should be doing.
Do you think Daboll, right? That's a
Brian Dabble. Dabble.
I think it's Daboll.
Dabble. Who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, does he have a job at the end of this season? This is year 3 maybe for him. I can't remember, but it's not looking super hot.
If he has a job at the end of the year, he's got a very short leash next season.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's no doubt. Well, and it's going to depend on how Daniel Jones recovers from that ACL. They paid him a bunch of money, I think either this past offseason or
it
the
was
one
this
before.
past offseason.
Yeah, paid him a bunch of money, and isn't that just how it goes? Big injury. So I guess we'll see.
I've seen a lot of these soft tissue injuries, though. The ligaments, the tendons.
Type of injuries. Yeah, it's not.
Just a huge spike in recent years.
And I don't know why that is, because some people have said it's the turf, but now this year you've kind of seen it on grass as well. Yeah. It's not just the turf at this point.
But it seems like you're seeing a lot more Achilles now, too. Like, ACLs those are always going to happen. But why is it now you're seeing a lot more torn Achilles?
And not to bring up Kirk Cousins, but the dude didn't get injured almost his whole career.
Yeah, he's never really had something, and then to have something like that happen.
Yeah. Daniel Jones, I don't think he has an injury history as well. Definitely not when he's been in the NFL, as far as like lower body anyway. But,
sure.
So yeah, another huge loss to the Giants. I don't know. Right after signing the big deal, like we said, it is what it is. Good luck in recovery for him. But another guy who signed a big deal more recently, Chicago's new acquisition, Montez Sweat, signed a 4-year deal, $98 million. in new money. 72.9 mil guaranteed. Whole deal is worth about 105 mil. So that now puts Montez at 24.5 mil a year, making him the 5th highest paid edge rusher in the league. He had 2 tackles his first game with Chicago. I know Tyler's thoughts on it. I kind of agree with him. You got to start somewhere, right? And that's why they traded for him. And you obviously traded for him with the knowledge, or at least I would imagine a pretty damn good feeling that he was going to sign some sort of deal to stay there longer term.
Especially giving up what they gave up.
Right.
Knowing they need those kind of picks in the situation that they're in, you better know he's signing.
And you know he's that kind of player already. So now you can build around a player like that on defense.
Correct.
So I am curious, a little nervous as a Vikes fan and you a Packer fan to now have him in the division.
But I mean, I was kind of the same way when they got Khalil Mack. And then
he wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad, but it wasn't the Khalil Mack I expected.
Yeah, he didn't live up to the Khalil Mack hype, but man, that dude is strong. Khalil Mack.
Oh, he's ridiculous.
But, yeah, so new deal for Montez Sweat. Stays in Chicago for the next 4. See if Chicago can build a D around him. Another thing that just came out today, actually, 2 things that came out today. Carson Wentz to sign with the LA Rams. Obviously, Rams not having a good season, right?
That's an interesting move.
Why? Why do you say it's interesting?
Like, you're at where you're at in the season. Why are you doing this right now?
Well, who else are you going to play? Because it's not Ripon or whoever the hell they started last week. Because who else are you going to play? They had Stetson Bennett, right, out of Georgia. He's away from the team. I can't remember for what. Something. But, so you got to do something, right? And I think if they didn't sign Carson Wentz, Giants probably would have. But, I mean, I think it was a matter of time before Wentz came back into the league. Is it going to be, do I expect him to do much? No. I mean, he's definitely a filler quarterback at this point. He's had his opportunities.
I mean, I guess they are still in the division hunt, per se.
Are they?
They're only division? 2. I mean,
what does it look like right now?
Updated after week 9. You got San Francisco and Seattle at 5-3, and the Rams sitting at 3-6. So it's not like they're out of it. So I mean, I guess I could see it, but is Carson Wentz really the guy to do it for you?
No,
I don't see that. So that's what's confusing to me is why you get Carson Wentz when there's probably better options out there.
Yeah.
Whether it is signing someone else or it's trading for somebody.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting move. I guess I agree with you. Interesting move. That's really all you can say. Definitely just there to kind of help them run out the season. One other quick addition that did happen, and usually we don't mention guys being signed to like a practice squad or something. But recently reinstated receiver Martavius Bryant gets signed to the practice squad of the Dallas Cowboys. I would imagine with the thoughts of elevating him to the NFL squad at some point. I know he bounced around. I don't know if he played in the XFL. I can't remember. I know he did play in some higher league, and allegedly still has it. So that's cool. Great to see him back in the league potentially, and Dallas is a good spot right now to be trying to rejuvenate your career.
41-year-old left tackle Jason Peters, he was just activated off the practice squad and to the active roster for where he's at. So I mean, hey, guys are still, if they're able to do it, why not?
Right.
Genius.
And here we go with the Bonehead move of the week. Probably not living up to the hype as last week's, but I don't know. I thought I saw something kind of interesting that's trying to be downplayed by the head coach. Let us know what you think. Comment on our stuff. Let us know. Basically, Steelers receiver Deontay Johnson catches I believe it's the go-ahead touchdown in the game. His first touchdown in 1.5 seasons. Crazy cool moment. Teammates are coming over congratulating him. You see George Pickens on the other side of the field, and he walks straight to the sideline. Moments later, you see him sitting on the bench, towel over his head, sitting by himself. And it's just like, dude, you're winning the game as a team. Cool moment for Deontay Johnson, one of your, dare I say, coworkers, I guess. teammates. You work with them every day, and after the game, I believe it was after the game, George Pickens decides to wipe his social media, and repost one thing. He just said, "Free me."
Childish.
Bro,
Childish.
you're a second-year receiver in this league. Why do you think... Now, don't
That
get me
hasn't
wrong.
done anything,
Now, don't
really.
get me wrong. Matt Canada's a shit show right now.
He's an idiot.
We know that. We know that. Ride it out, dude. Why do you think you can just do that? Like, and that's the issue, right? George Pickens, I believe, is 22 years old. I coach local high school football, so I coach, I don't know, anywhere between 16 and 18-year-old kids. And you see it with them, right? They act on emotion right now rather than thinking things through. I mean, any 16 to 18-year-old kids, but now more days than ever.
There's too much
say.
individual mentality.
And that's just it. And social media plays a big part. And
There's a lot of entitlement.
And then when you got Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Steelers, that comes out and says, "Oh, it's really not a big deal." He actually said, "quote, it's a pebble in my shoe." I just don't.
I don't see how you can downplay
right?
that.
I get it. I think they've probably had their conversations in private.
I'm sure they have.
In private, but like, unfortunately, with social media being the way it is nowadays,
it's gonna spread and spread fast.
Tomlin tried to say he wasn't really, it's not to, get a rise or anything. That's BS, dude, because that's exactly what he got. He wanted everybody to see that and be like, "Yeah, I agree," or "No, you're an idiot." One way or the other, he wanted some sort of reaction, which he's got.
Right.
And Tomlin's already sick of all the questions. It's almost getting to Antonio Brown level already for him, just because those are still fresh wounds, because that's all reporters want to talk about instead of football.
It just resonates.
So I get it. He's probably he doesn't care about the outside drama. So I think maybe that's why he's saying it's maybe not a huge deal.
Right. He's just trying to deflect away.
Probably. And I personally, George Pickens is a good player, So I think he just needs to think about what he's doing, Think about what you're doing.
Good player needs to be a better teammate.
That. And here we go with the Week 10 slate of games that we're going to kind of do our predictions of and recap next week. Packers at Steelers. Ben, who do you got?
So I'm gonna take Green Bay with this one, and it's gonna be close. Like the Pittsburgh defense is gonna give that Green Bay offensive line a test, and I think this is where it's their make or break this season.
Yeah, for sure. Personally, I think I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I think it's just they're hard to beat at home, and I think the crowd's gonna really help them out there. Tyler's picks are coming straight from Vegas. He's going with the Pack, of course. What a homer pick. Yeah, that's that. Next game, Saints in Minnesota. Ben, who you got?
I'm gonna give this one to Minnesota. I think Dobbs is gonna find that connection with Jordan Addison like he did late in the game last week, and they're gonna build something.
Sure. Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm going Vikes too, obviously. Definitely a homer pick, but I do believe that they will handle the Saints just fine. We'll see if JJ is back this week or not. That would be a great addition to the offense. Tyler also going with the Vikes. I'm just going to leave that alone. Next game, Browns at Ravens. Divisional matchup. Ravens actually favored by 6 here. What do you got?
I'm surprised to see the spread at 6, but I'm going to give it to the Ravens. But Lamar definitely has got to...
Baltimore at 6, by the way. Sorry.
But Lamar's definitely going to have to show up.
Yeah.
More than he has.
You said Baltimore going with the Ravens?
Correct.
Ravens to cover. All right. Yeah, I'm going Ravens too. I think Lamar Jackson, again at home too. At home, Lamar's going to go off. Browns aren't going to be ready for it quite yet. Tyler's going with the Browns. I feel it. I did think about it, but I really don't think they're going to be quite ready for that test yet. On to our next game. We're looking at the Niners going into Jacksonville, where San Francisco's favored by 3.
I think San Francisco takes it. It's definitely going to be a game to watch. Jacksonville's starting to surprise me, though.
I know.
I definitely did not see them coming out the way they have this year.
Definitely borderline game of the week, but it is not for us. But yeah, I'm going Jags. I'm the only one here. Tyler went with the Niners. I think the Jags can pull this thing off at home. Niners are sputtering right now. We'll see. I think you're right. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a good game. Final game of our slate here. Banter with the boys. Game of the week. Lions traveling to LA to play the Chargers.
I think the Chargers take this. Detroit's favored 2.5, but that over-under is 48.5. And I feel like when Justin Herbert gets in those type of scoring games, Justin Herbert does Justin Herbert things and figures it out.
Yeah.
So I think the Chargers are going to take it, but that defense is definitely going to have to be ready for Detroit because they're not going to go down quietly.
No doubt. I mean, this game's really hard for me to pick. I'm also a Chargers fan on top of being a Vikings fan forever. That's LaDainian Tomlinson's fault. So, of course, I'm going with the Chargers. However, this one could truly go either way. That's why I'm not surprised to see Tyler picking the Lions with his pick. That's got to be game of the week. I think it's going to be really close. Yeah, that wraps up our Week 10 slate of the games here. Ben, thanks for joining me tonight, dude. Doing this by myself, which was the possibility with Tyler in Vegas. You decided that you were available short notice. Just hopped in here and killed it. Thanks for that.
Hey, it was a pleasure, and I was excited to be here. So I'm looking forward to potential future opportunities.
Absolutely. Kev sitting here giving you a silent round of applause. And yeah, as always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do wherever you listen to the banter, and we'll see you next week.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Tune in next time for more Banter with the Boys.